Hi, Shepherd's Pie, greetings from the Philippines. Welcome back to the channel for a coffee and a chat. I'm out in the garden today, so there will be roosters. But I've tried a new microphone that Ellen got me for Christmas. So the sound hopefully will be crystal clear and the roosters won't be as loud. So, the reason I'm making this video, I have been called out, would you believe, by, I'm not going to name the guy, because why give him the publicity? He's a silly little man on another island, who's basically said I'm the biggest loser in the Philippines and I'm bankrupt, I'm a bum, I got no money. Just basically talking a lot of shit. But as I say, he's irrelevant. I'm not going to name the guy. He's not the reason I'm making the video. The reason I'm making this video is because this little attention seeker, because that's all he does. He just criticises other vloggers. He jumps around in his $5 Kmart shirt, you know, with his dyed hair. Yeah, this guy's a bum, this guy's this guy's that. You know, wouldn't have an original thought if it smacked him around the side of the head. But what he has picked up on is a theme which I would like to discuss. And that is Dumaguete. And people living in Dumaguete because they can't afford to live anywhere else. Because this is a theme that I noticed from day one. When I first came here and I first started watching YouTube channels, before I came here. Now, anyone who watches this channel will know I don't bullshit. If I say something wrong, it's because I've got it wrong. But the whole foundation of my channel is to say things how I see them. You know, I don't have a dog in this fight whether Dumaguete is the best place to live or whatever. Couldn't care less. You know, I am not remotely interested in talking people to move to the Philippines. If you want to come here, come here. If you don't, don't. You know, I just try and give people information. I talk about my experiences in the Philippines, whether they are negative or whether they are positive. You know, and a lot of people accuse me of being a whinging pom. I've gone from whinging pom to biggest loser, broke ass, whatever in the Philippines. There you go. Mother, I've made it. I'm the top of the pile. I'm the biggest loser. But yeah, there seems to be this theme. And I can't get my head around it. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't watch YouTube channels anymore about the Philippines. The only channel I watch nowadays is Brent's Tripping. And that's because Brent's my mate, so I like to see, you know, what he's doing, you know, where he is and, you know, that kind of thing. But all the other channels, the ones I watched before I came here, Every Man Has a Story, Paul Old Dog New Tricks, I used to watch Geo occasionally in the Philippines. You know, they're irrelevant to me now because I'm living here. You know, I was trying to get information about the Philippines before I was deciding whether to try the place or not. And they were useful. They were useful. A lot of what they told me was helpful. Some of it wasn't. You know, some of it didn't turn out. I do think a lot of people paint the place out to be better than it is. But it's what you make of it. But I never found them drama-filled. Quite the opposite. I mean, they were informational. I would watch them while I was doing my ironing, and I'd listen to them rather than watch them. You know, stuff like that. It's how I tend to use YouTube. Didn't see a lot of drama there. So I don't understand where this Dumaguete comes from. This, you know. And first of all, I'm not sticking up for YouTube vloggers in Dumaguete. I don't consider myself to be a Dumaguete vlogger. You might disagree. I talk about basically the same stuff I did in Sikihor. But now I'm in Dumaguete, or just outside Dumaguete. So does that make me a Dumaguete vlogger? Was I a Sikihor vlogger over there? I think I'm just a vlogger who talks about Asia. But regardless, this whole business, I mean, one of my biggest criticisms, or my biggest dislikes about Dumaguete, is it can be so bloody boring at times. You know, I went out New Year's Eve, it was awful here. I mean, Christmas was crap in Cebu, and New Year was crap here, you know. Most of the people here, you know, a lot of the expats, they don't go out, they don't celebrate New Year's Eve, they're not really party kind of people. And do you have to be a party person to celebrate New Year? You know, in the UK you celebrate New Year, it's just what you do. Not so much over here. It was a damn boring night. I went out with a friend and his wife, and it was not a great night. I mean, not blaming the company, although we did meet a guy in town I did not like at all. But there you go. The point is, I laugh when people call Dumaguete DRAMAGUETE. I mean, in the time I've been here, I mean in the Philippines, the only drama I'm aware of is that, if you can call it a punch-up, you know, down in Ground Zero. I think someone said to me the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, that Gio has left his wife or girlfriend or whatever. You know, to which I said, okay, you know, so zero interest to me. I've not watched his channel in, I don't know, well over a year. I didn't watch it much anyway. But honestly, fellas, I mean, if this is the drama of DRAMAGUETE, you know, I laugh, because this is a sleepy place. It's not, there are places you can go to, you know, to have a nightlife or whatever, but it's not, you know, the idea that this is an island full of drama. But like I say, you know, I don't watch YouTube channels other than Brent's Tripping, really. So maybe there is a lot of drama that's going on that I don't know about, you know. But that's another thing that makes me laugh about these haters, you know. I'll call them haters. I know that's what Sunshine Shoulders used to call them. You know, they come on and they do this and that and that. I can only conclude they're living in the Philippines, but they're spending their hours watching vlogs of people they don't like. Why? You don't like them, don't watch them. Have you got nothing more productive to do with your life than watch vlogs and call people out, you know, on other islands? So yeah, I am at a total loss about this this DRAMAGUETE side of things. If you want to educate me in the channel, if you want to be abusive in the comments, fine, you know, tell me, because maybe I'm missing a trick. You know, on that one, I will bow to other people's superior knowledge. As I say, I am surprised that it has a reputation for drama, because from what I've seen, nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, my God, I've seen a couple of arguments between expats, you know, which came close to blows. You know, you had that business down at Ground Zero, you know, there's been the odd bit. Trust me, in Pattaya, that would be an afternoon. No one would even be talking about it. You know, there was so much more going on in other places in the world if you want drama. I mean, this place, no, cannot see it. But as I say, I'm no expert on the vlogging YouTube. I do not watch other channels, like I say to you. Sometimes I think I should. People say to me, like, you know, I should be watching more channels to get ideas to talk about on my channel, and maybe they're right, I just can't be bothered. Although, having seen this fool the other day, and I'd never heard of him. It's only because a couple of people put in the comments. Maybe I should start watching more channels, because he's great for entertainment value. I'm not only jumping around, these guys, you know, it was funny. Me and Ellen had a good laugh at it. I mean, he could not be further from the mark, particularly with Ellen. Ellen's got a damn good job. You know, Ellen, I'm not going to embarrass her by what she earns, but her bonus, performance bonus, is more than the average Filipino earns a month. You know, she is close to American, you know, wages. That's how she was able to buy a brand new bike the other month, you know, for cash. You know, she does not lead. I am not taking Ellen out of poverty. This idea that he feels sorry for her because she's escaping poverty. She's not, mate. She has been financially independent for, I don't know, past 5-6 years. You know, doesn't need my money for anything. And I don't give her any money. You know what I mean? I pay all the bills in the house, but she is financially independent. So for this fool to be jumping around saying Ellen's escaping poverty, you know. But it's typical, it's systematic of some of these people. They know nothing about anything. They don't know anything about these people. As I say, I'm not going to go back into the Mark Thornton debate, you know, God rest his soul, he's gone now. But 90% of the crap that was talked about him was bullshit, you know. Anyway, but I'm not going to go down that. I'm not going to go down that route. It's pointless. What I am going to talk about, and what I do know about, is the expat community in Dumaguete, because I have been surprised, in all honesty, how affluent they are here. As of all, now I don't know every expat, of course I don't. As I've mentioned before, there seems to be an American contingent that you never see. They tend not to go out. I mean, maybe they drink in the coffee shops or whatever, but you'll see them in the morning sometimes dropping off their kids. So I think it's like 3% of the population of Dumaguete is supposed to be expats. Whether that's true or not, I do not know. But I don't know them. I know the circles I move in and the people I meet. And it's quite a varied one, because I do the quizzes, because I'm a quiz master at the Kingswit and I'm a quiz master at Sideways. You get to meet such a varied bunch, you know, because you've got American teams, you've got some English teams, you've got a mix of Australians, etc. Quite a few British. These are the circles that I tend to move in. I mean, these are the people that I know. And I tell you now, they are not living here because it's a cheap option. They are as affluent as any expat communities I've met anywhere I've lived in Thailand or Cambodia. The Americans I know a few are generally ex-forces. You know, they've done their time, they've got their American pensions. So I mean, they've got their, you know, their forces pensions, full pensions. They're younger, some of them have started their own businesses, but you know, they're not short of cash. And the English guys I know here, yeah, they've run successful businesses, some of them are retired, but their private pensions completely dwarf, you know, their state pensions. I probably know 2 people here who I would class as living on limited pensions, or limited funds. And as I've said in other videos, they're 2 of the happiest guys I know out here. You know, I don't understand this. I don't like going down this route of what people, this idea that if someone has a low income, they're a bum or whatever. You know, that is not a British way of looking at things. You know, we don't, I can only assume we don't judge people in the same way as some of our American brothers seem to, where money is king. You know, I won't talk about money, what I earn or whatever. You know, I'm comfortable in what I do. I mean, the clue should be I retired at 40. So, you know, how have I done that if I'm a destitute, broken bum? You know, my living costs are my living costs. You know, I do the videos because people find them interesting. You know, I could make it up. I could say I'm living on $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month or whatever. But my costs are what they are. You know, I do not economise. Which is what made me laugh about this guy over here, because again, I'm not going to go down this route of bragging about finance and that, but I could easily live in any city in the Philippines if I wanted to, and it would be cheaper than most of the places I've lived in the world, because I said before, I mean, I've lived in 10 different countries, and you know, we're talking America, we're talking Holland, we're talking Sweden, you know, these countries are considerably more expensive than the Philippines. So this idea that people live in Dumaguete because it's a cheaper option than Cebu or Manila, it's not true. It's just not true. It's complete nonsense. When I went to Cebu, and I'm not knocking anyone who lives in Cebu at all. If that's where you want to live, that's where you want to live. But I mentioned to a couple of the guys I know, I mean, a lot of the guys I know were going to Thailand. You know, they went away for a couple of weeks over Christmas, New Year. So I was talking about them, and that's one of the reasons why I went to Cebu, because Ellen and I are going to go to Thailand in the next couple of months. We're exploring the options now, because so we'll do that. So their trip was a bit too soon for us, but they said to me, like, you know, when I said I was going to Cebu, they said, why are you going there? And I was like, you know, to try it out, you know, it's probably going to be more going on here than there is in Dumaguete. And they were like, yeah, no, probably will be. But they were like, you know, don't expect too much, you know, because half of them, not half, well, a few of them had already lived in Cebu. They had given up in Cebu and they had come here. Now, as I say to you, I'm not saying Cebu is better or worse than Dumaguete for you. What I am saying is, the people who choose Dumaguete, in my experience, do not choose it because it is a cheaper option. They have chosen it because it fits their lifestyle. And I'm one of these people. You know, again, if you watch the channel, I moved to City Hall. I fell in love with City Hall. I thought it was heaven on earth. But after a few months, I got cabin fever. You know, it's island fever, whatever you want to call it. It's too small a place for me. It was too repetitive going to the same places, you know, it was too difficult to get things and that. It was just same day in, day out. The reason I have stayed in Dumaguete as long as I have is it's a reasonable balance. Do I love the place? No, I do not love the place. It's a bit too quiet for me, I'm finding, as time goes on. I mean, you can have some good nights out here if the right people are out, you know, you can have some nice nights at restaurants and that, but I would like it to be a bit bigger. But what I like about it is I can get the things I want to get. You know, there are 3 like supermarkets, whatever you call it. I don't know what you call them in the States, but we call them supermarkets. You've got a couple of Robinson stores, you've got one in City Mall, you've got LP Hypermarket. So you can get the things you want to get. You know, if you want to go out, everything is within, if you're in Dumaguete city centre, there are no restaurants that are more than a 5-minute ride. You know, there's no place you can't jump on a trike if you've had a drink and get to in 5 minutes, you know, or you can drive to. And I like that. I'm not a mole person. I mean, this fool was saying the only reason I'd been to Robinson's 3 times in a year was because I can't afford to go to Robinson's. Now, he knows I didn't say that in the video. The reason I've been to Robinson's 3 times is I do not like shopping malls. I've gone there 3 times, twice to buy phones. I bought 2 phones since I've been here, and I bought a 360 vlogging camera, you know, and because most electrical shops are in Robinson's. So you go there. Although I didn't buy the vlogging camera in the end, I got that from a place called GD Gadgets, which is near the Broadway. But yeah, shopping malls to me are soulless, boring places. I don't like shopping, you know what I mean? But that's the way it is in the UK, my generation. We haven't grown up, you know, rotating around malls. But if you have, fine. I understand why Cebu might be the place for you, you know, if you want that kind of thing. But Cebu to me, too spread out. The traffic was lousy. When we went out with Ray and when we spoke to some people we know over there, they're saying, like, you should try this place and you should try that place. But there's like 6-7 kilometre gaps in between them. You know, to get there in the taxis was taking like 20 minutes, half an hour. I don't want that. You know, we went to, I think it's called SMC side. We went to the Ayala Mall. You know, they're not for me. I have no interest in malls. And we went to Mango Square or Mango Avenue, whatever you call that. And I met the expats there, or some of them. And they weren't my kind of people. You know, I found it to be a very seedy place. That's not my cup of tea. I'm not into the bar girl scene and all the rest of it. And you can tell that guy who's jumping around is, you know, and there are a lot over there who are. And I mean, God bless them, power to them. If that's what you want. If you want bar girls and you want strip shows and all that kind of stuff, well, don't come to Dumaguete because there isn't any there. It isn't any here. It's not that kind of place. I would say Dumaguete is quite a wholesome place. And that tends to be why people live here. They tend to live here because they're in relationships and they got families. Most of them have got kids with Filipinos. And the Filipinos come from Dumaguete. I mean, I was talking to a mate the other day, an English guy, a few weeks ago. And he'd been here 6 years. And I told him I was getting a bit bored with the place. And as he said, the place ain't great. You know, most of the people that live here because they're in relationships with their girlfriends, you know, or their wives. You know, that's why they're here. So there you go. A few people have said in the videos that Cebu's not more expensive than Dumaguete. Well, it depends where you live. You know what I mean? I know a couple of people who live in houses over here. They built their own houses and they're worth 14, 15, 16 million. I know a couple of guys who are paying $80,000 a month in rent. You know, they could afford to live in Cebu quite easily. I've got a mate, Simon, who subscribes to the channel. He's living in a 5,000 peso place. To be honest with you, if you're not a drinker, I don't know if Cebu would necessarily cost that much, you know, more than Dumaguete. You know, it's horses for courses. It's where you want to live. But as I say, I made this video because I just struggle with this stereotype that, you know, that this is Dramaguete. Because my God, this is a sleepy little place. And the idea that people only live here because it's cheap. As I said to you, it's not true. Where this stereotype has come from, I do not know. I do suspect some of it's jealousy. Just because some of the, let's call it for what it is, bullshit that people say about the vloggers over here. Which I think is pretty sad, because I have not seen a vlogger over here, any vlogger in the Philippines, where I have been jealous and thought, God, I want his lifestyle. So the fact that these people get so uppity about it and they're determined to call people out and everyone's this and everyone's that, just gives you an insight into how sad their lives would be if they're watching channels they don't like and they're getting so upset about it. You know, it's classic projection in my book. But as I say, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't watch enough YouTube. Maybe there are some, you know, there is drama going on. But I get the thumbnails pop up on YouTube, you know, after, invariably when I see something like, this guy's lost everything, this guy's gone there, she took him for this and she took him for that. You know, they don't seem to be Dumaguete vloggers. I say I don't watch them. I'm not interested in that bullshit. But maybe they are Dumaguete vloggers and I just never heard of them. You know, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I am at a total loss as to why people like that creature behave the way they do. But you know, I say, I can only assume he lived with his parents until later life. They passed away. He was left alone, and now he desperate for the attention his mother used to show him. So the only way he can do that is to be shocking and criticise people and all the rest. You know, I mean, I don't know, but as I say, you know, hell of a lot of animosity towards the vloggers here in Dumaguete, which I don't get. And as I say, I just want to dispel this rumour that people live here just because it's a cheap option. Because to be honest with you, if I think about it, the people I've met with the tightest budgets, I mean really low, living on very low budgets, were in City Hall. I know a couple of guys over there who are living very, very cheaply, not through choice, through necessity. And when we went to Cebu, and I don't mean Cebu City, Ray and I, we went for a little drive around. We went up to Oslob, and we went to the Mobile, and met a couple of expats there who were living cheaply. And to be honest with you, I saw a couple of people wandering around Cebu who were expats, Cebu City, and they did not look, let's just say they didn't look particularly prosperous. So maybe they're Howard Hugheses, you know, maybe these people are multi-millionaires and they just don't show it. Maybe our friend who's jumping around here, maybe he just dresses like that and dyes his hair like that because he's a Howard Hughes. Maybe he's a multi-millionaire. I don't know. I severely doubt it. But there you go. Anyway, I've gone on and on. I've gone round in circles here. But as I say, I do not get this. I do not get the drama, and I do not get this idea that, as I say to you now, Dumaguete is not a fantastic place. You know, it's an okay place. I'm not going to build it up. You know, it's either for you or it's not. And I don't know if it's for me. You know, I go up and down. I'm not enjoying the place at the moment. Last couple of nights we've gone out. I mean, we go out more now. We go out virtually every day because I'm getting bored here. And, you know, it's, I don't know. It's not, it's got its, I like the fact everything's close together. I like the fact you can get from A to B easily. I like the fact that I like the community here. I mean, this is the thing that I like about Dumaguete the most. It's the community. It's a close-knit community. It certainly is the circles I move in. Everyone helps each other. You know, if you've got a problem with something, people say, oh, go see this guy, go see that guy. You know, they're helpful, they're friendly. If you do the quiz circuits, you know, and the same people who do the quizzes tend to play darts, you know, I like that. Of all the places I've lived in the world, this has got the best in terms of community spirit. I did not get that feeling in Cebu, which is not surprising because it's a big place, it's spread out. It's like London, you know. I mean, this is the thing. Which is better, London or Leicester? Well, obviously London. London has a lot more going for it than Leicester does. But I grew up in London. I had my 14 happiest years in the UK living in Leicester. You know, because it suited me at that time. This place suits me now at this time to an extent. There is nothing in Dumaguete in Cebu for me. You know, and that's not financial constraints, it's just I don't like the place. As I say, you know, I don't think Dumaguete is that much cheaper, to be honest with you. I mean, beer and things tend to be cheaper here. I might do a video on it, but you've got a place called the Henry Resort. I've done a video recently on the North Point. It's where a lot of the Filipinos go to eat. But if you go up a couple of 100 metres, you've got a place called the Henry Resort, and it's full of higher end, finer restaurants. And there's some quite good ones up there, but that wasn't the purpose of the video when I was showing how you can live like a local. Next time we go for dinner there, I will probably I'll do a vlog. But they're Cebu prices. I mean, you're talking, you know, your meal there, you're talking, I don't know, 1,500 a head. Beers are like 150, 160. You know, there are lots of fine dining options in Dumaguete if that's what you want. And I mean, they tend to get busy with expats, those restaurants up there. And there's some nice ones, Italian ones. But anyway, that's another video. But as I say, yeah, I just wanted to give my take on this whole idea about Dumaguete, and this whole idea that the only reason people move to Dumaguete is because of the costs. Two reasons people move to Dumaguete: it's because of the vloggers. That's where I first came here, so they are doing their sales pitch. And why do they stay here? It's because they get in a relationship with someone who is Filipino. Same as any city or any town in the Philippines, I would suggest. Why do a certain older generation like it in Cebu? Probably because they're whoring it. You know, and power to them if that's what they want to do. And because of that, and because they're the circles they move in, and because they haven't found the happiness that a lot of the people in Dumaguete seem to, they're jealous. There you go, I hit the nail on the head. I think I've worked out, I think I've answered my own question. Just by sitting here and talking for half an hour, I have answered my own question. Anyway, I'm going to stop now, because I am going round in circles. But I always do. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, hit the subscribe button. Whether you do, whether you don't, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe, be lucky.